Hello, everyone. Good morning. Let's start. Thanks for being here. Okay, well, let's go. Good morning. We had to, for homework, we had to analyze these pictures and see what could have happened in each of them. Like to create some theories about what is going on in each picture. Okay, so let's go. Please tell me, Reina, what do you see in the first picture? And how can you explain it? How could you explain what is happening in the first picture? Yeah, I don't know what happened. Let's see. It's El Roman, please. Look at the first picture. What do you think happened here? Okay, I don't know. She can participate. Itzel Gallardo, please. What do you think happened in the first picture?
It's a man in parachutes.
Okay. Why do you think he is doing that?
Or is jump?
Sorry?
Jump or parachute?
He is jumping, he's doing parachuting, but why? Let's try to give you an explanation, a theory. Remember, we are going to use what we learned yesterday, the past models of speculation. One reason he may have jumped because it was his birthday. He may have jumped because it was his birthday. What's another reason, explanation? Itzel, what do you think? Tell me another theory.
Maybe it's a gift of graduation.
Sorry?
A gift of graduation.
Okay. Yeah. He may have graduated. Very well. Excellent. Another theory, guys, you would like to share with the first picture?
He had a promotion, and that was a promotion.
Okay, good. He may have had, try to use the structure, he may have had a promotion. Very well, so he's happy, right?
He may have broken with her girlfriend.
Her what, sorry?
She may have broken with her girlfriend.
Okay. He may have broken with girlfriend. Good, that's another theory. How about now we move to, excellent, now we move to the second picture. I'm sorry I can't zoom more, but that's most. So what is happening in the second picture and why? What do you think?
Because it happens a tornado.
Okay. It could have been a tornado? Very well. What is another theory? What happened and why? What do you see? What do you think?
I'm not sure the structure, but I think the house it may have built by a crazy engineer.
Mhm. Good. It could have been built by a crazy company. Okay. Very well. We move on to today's third one, please.
The builder was distracted when he built it.
Okay. Yes, the architect must have been distracted, the builder. Well, okay. So those are interesting theories. What happened in the third picture? What do you think is going on?
I think the tiger is warning the dog to leave the cats alone.
Okay. The tiger could have told the dog to leave cats alone. Yeah, because the dog is bothering little cats. Well, the tiger is a bigger cat, right? Do you have another theory? Dante, we haven't heard you.
I think they could have been friends.
They could have been friends very well. Okay, very well. So this is basically the review, right, of what we learned about the speculation, the modal verbs of speculation. Now we move on. I would like to review too a little bit. And let's check these exercises here. Well, so here, let's use the modals of obligation. Of speculation. And in here you see Kyle, let's say not see that movie. Okay. He doesn't like science fiction. Okay, so my friend doesn't like science fiction movies. I know that. So here we have like this tick, which is short. I'm sure that he didn't watch the movie. Okay, so I'm going to say in this case, Kyle must have not seen that movie. Kyle must have not seen that movie. Okay, because I'm sure Kyle must have not seen that movie. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is that I am sure he didn't see it. Okay. Number 2. It's el Roman. I don't know if you are available to participate. Can you help me with number 2? Okay, or maybe we can ask, please, Itzel Gallardo.
Teacher is with must.
In this case, we are not sure because we have these the cross, so it says not sure, so you're not sure. What modal verbs can you use when you are not sure?
May.
May, could, or might. Very well.
Leslie may have not talking.
May not have taken. Yes.
¿Y por qué ahí va al principio el not y no va después de have como en el primer ejemplo, teacher?
Sorry.
Porque el not va antes de have.
Sorry, yes. This case must not have seen. Sorry, it's just informally you can say both, let's say, but the best thing is when you put not after the modal verb. So maybe another in spoken English you could say both, but written the best thing is after the modal verb. Must not have seen, may not have taken.
Sir, I have a question.
Okay.
Mhm.
It is possible to say Leslie can't taken?
To use can,
Can't.
can't. Leslie can't have taken. Yes, you can use it. Just the activity says that when you see that we have this cross means not sure. If you use can't, it means that you are sure. Right? Leslie can't have taken. Like for me, it's impossible. I am sure. Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Yes. So let's say in the first one, you can use can't. You can say Kyle can't have seen that movie. It's possible. But in this one, you can use it too, but the activity says that we are not sure. So the only modal verbs that we use when we are not sure is could, might, or may. Okay, so if you see the thick, is sure. If you see the cross, not sure. Okay, very well. So yes, remember that the negative not in written formal English always goes after the modal verb. That's the correct thing. Now, informally, people use it both ways. You can say must have not, must not have. Leslie may not have, or Leslie may have not taken. Okay. But formally, not always comes after the modal verb. Okay. Well, number 3, please, Miguel, help us with number 3.
Claudia and Leo.
In this case, I'm sure.
Excuse me, teacher.
In this case, I am sure because you have the thick.
Okay. Yes, I'm sure. Yes, it's sure. Claudia and Leo must have walking to work. Their car is at the mechanic's shop.
Okay, very well. And this will be pronounced. So must have walked. Can you please repeat? Must have walked.
Must have worked.
Good. Okay. Very well. Thank you. We go back to Itzel Gallardo, please, number 4.
Sarah might not have liked my story. She didn't say much about it.
Excellent. Sarah might not. What is the difference between could, might, and may? They mean the same, just a few things. The most formal of all of them will be may. May. Then might is more like neutral, and could is the most informal. So the three of them, may, could, and might, they mean the same, but let's say could is the less formal and may is the most formal. Okay. 5, please. Hey.
Yes, teacher. The movie may not have taken place in Japan. Some of the city scenes looked like they were in Tokyo.
Good. May not have taken, may have not taken place. Okay, so the city's scenes looked like they were in Tokyo. Okay, number 6, please. Miguel, number 6. In this case, we are short.
Yes, teacher. You must have gotten
Okay,
much sleep last night. You sent me an email at 2 a.m.
exactly. You must not have gotten. Very good.
You must not have gotten. You mustn't have gotten.
Exactly. You mustn't have gotten. Very well. So you remember some of the contractions for these modal verbs. So yes, you say when you have the negative for must, you can say mustn't. For may and for might, you can't. For could, you can say couldn't. All right. For example, you could say Kyle mustn't have, and you eliminate the H of the pure pronunciation. You say Kyle mustn't have seen. Leslie may not have. Leslie may not have taken. Claudia and Leo, here in this case, we have the contraction must have, right? So you say must have walked to work. Sarah might not have liked the movie, may not have taken place, so on, right? It's you use the one that you feel more comfortable, and you can try to eliminate the H from the pronunciation. The one, instead of saying have, you say have. But remember, it's only when you speak faster, it wouldn't make sense. Okay. Well, so thank you. And the next thing we're going to see is about writing. We have let's check this part. It's about how to write, right? How to write a story about an event. And here you have, right? We have different examples from the Wizard of Oz. And now we're going to see how to write a good essay, or in general, write everything in English. Okay, so here we have a couple of recommendations for you. Okay, so what do we need to do when we write something in English? When we write an essay, we have different kinds of writing things. You have articles, essays, emails, letters. Even if you want, you can write stories, fables. So all of them poems, they have their own structure, right? Now, in everyday life, the most common thing we will write are emails, letters, and maybe we will write an essay about something, right? If we are at school, or if we need to deliver a report at work. Okay, so this is what we need to do. So let's talk a little bit about the structure of a text. Here in your book, you have an activity. The activity says a story about an event. And it says, when you write a story, include this information: what happened, when it happened, what you did after it happened. Include this information: where, how, and what happened at the end. Some other, they give you instructions, like they are more specific, okay? Now, when you write something, you need to be able to organize your text. So we talk about organization. Okay, so we have what and when, what happened and when it happened. Also, we could say where it happened. Let's say the what, when, where, okay, with some context, okay. This is what you will answer in the first paragraph. So the first thing will be like the first paragraph. Okay, so the first paragraph generally is always an introductory paragraph. Introductory or introduction paragraph. So when you write, for example, a letter or an email, you greet your friend in the first paragraph. In this case, when you write a story, you need to give a context. You need to give the setting of the story. What happened, when, and where. Okay. So here you're going to give context in the first paragraph. Then you continue talking about what happened. Okay. The second part, what you did after it happened. Okay, let's say the development of the story. Okay, would be maybe the second paragraph. So you see, I always give an introduction or introductory paragraph. Then the second paragraph is the development of the story. You give more details about what happened. Maybe you can add some of the people that participated in this story. It can be something true or something like fiction. It's up to you, okay? Here you can add how or why it happened. In this second paragraph, you will develop as much as you can. Maybe you can add even a third paragraph with complementary ideas, right? Or if the paragraph is too long, you can add a third paragraph in which you will explain what continues happening in the story, the third paragraph. Okay. And finally, we will include a second paragraph. Sorry, we could say a third paragraph for the body of your story, or a fourth paragraph, which would be the conclusion, like what happened in the end. Okay, so this would be a conclusion paragraph. Okay, that's the first thing. Like, we need to organize the text, we need to think about it, and follow the instructions. So I'm going to first talk about what they ask me, or I can organize my text according to my ideas. So just remember that every paragraph, in both in English and Spanish, we organize texts very similarly. So every paragraph has a main idea, right? So when you stop talking about that idea, maybe it's better to start a new paragraph. So every paragraph has an idea. You finish the idea, it's better to write another paragraph. So that's the first thing about the organization of your text. There are some things that we always need to consider to write something. One of them is organization, but other very important thing, this would be, for example, orthography. Which means, right, to write the words exactly as they are, in punctuation. Okay, so for example, in English, there are some differences with Spanish, right, in orthography and punctuation too. One of them is that we always write a vowel, a capital letter with nationalities, with countries and nationalities. In Spanish, we write countries with capital letter, but the nationalities we don't. For example, you would say in English, Colombian, right? You need to write with capital letter, while in Spanish, it's not necessary. You can go like this, like with a small letter. That's one difference. In English, always the nationalities, they go in capital letters. Now, if we talk about the country, both in English and Spanish, they both go in capital letter, right? But I'm talking about the nationality. What is another difference? Well, the pronoun I always goes in capital letter, right? In Spanish, this is not like this. Yo is depends, right? But I is always capital letter. Okay. So you need to be careful about how you write the word, that it has the correct, that is written correctly. That's the most important thing. So your orthography, be careful with it, that you write the words correctly. Punctuation is also different. Remember that we only use one symbol, one question mark, and we only use one exclamation mark at the end. In Spanish, we use like double, right? Double marks, right? To represent emotions or to express a question, right? Just hold on my computer. I don't know if I can write on my computer. Well, the point is, in English, we have these on just one single punctuation mark. Well, that's important too, that we follow these things. If you don't have problems with punctuation in Spanish, it's very difficult that you will have problems in English, because it's the same idea. Maybe in English, we tend to write a little bit more commas because we have a topic that is called the relative clauses. But if you don't have problems in Spanish with your punctuation, I don't think you will have it with English. The problem is that sometimes very often students have problems, for example, with commas. So they don't write commas, you know, you have comma, semicolon, colon, parentheses. What else? The well, brackets, but let me see if I can get it. We have the quotation marks. So all of these are important, right? If you forget to write this, it's like a house, right? This is like the structure. First, your organization and orthography and punctuation. This is like building a house. So maybe if you forget about these points, your text will be like a house without, I don't know, without the ceiling, or a house without furniture, or I mean not with furniture, without the windows. You won't have a very organized text, so everything else wouldn't matter what you're writing. So when you write, pay attention to these details. Organization, use paragraphs, organize your paragraphs. Orthography, make sure that you write the word correctly. If you're not checking the dictionary, double check. And punctuation, write commas, period, semicolon when you need it. Always be sure that your punctuation is neat. The rules are the same like in Spanish, we could say. Okay. Well, what's another thing we need to consider? Well, once you are sure you have a good organization, good orthography, and good punctuation, you won't have problems like this if you don't have problems with Spanish, right? So you are used to have good writing in Spanish, in English, will not be complicated. Now, what do we need to do so that we can write maybe more professional, more formal, or more advanced letter, story, essay, article? Doesn't matter, but we will try to follow the next things. So a good writer, and depending on the context, will use longer sentences. Okay, it's not the same saying. For example, I want ice cream. I want ice cream is a phrase that you would use in a specific context, but it's not the same saying. This in saying I will be looking forward to, we could say, spoiling. I will be looking forward to spoiling myself. And maybe we can use a more sophisticated word instead of saying it. So you could say, for example, okay, well, let's use it. I will be looking forward to spoiling myself, eating smooth, creamy ice cream. So compare both phrases. The first one, I want ice cream, is simple, but if you want to write something, You want to be more descriptive. Usually when we write things, we think better than when we speak. When we write something, we have more time to organize our ideas. So usually your spoken English is not your written English. It's different if you write something on WhatsApp to a friend, if you're writing something informal. But your written English is not your spoken English. So you need to try to make it more, you need to try to make it more interesting with more colors. So check the second phrase. I will be looking forward to spoiling myself eating a smooth, creamy ice cream. Maybe this is an exaggeration. Maybe I'm using a lot of unnecessary words, but this is the second thing you would, the second sentence will be similar to what you need to write in articles and more advanced text. You don't want to go with the most direct. You want to use this. Now, depending on the context, maybe you would use more formal English. Maybe I would like, I would fancy, maybe you can use a colloquial phrase like, I'm fancy for some ice cream. Okay, so now this phrase is more advanced than I want ice cream. I've been longing for some ice cream. Okay, so the word long in this case is like anhelar. So, you know, usually more advanced text, if you want to be like more advanced when you write your structures, if you want to sound better, use longer sentences. Now be careful, you don't use longer sentences just to use space in the text. These longer sentences must be more descriptive, like in the example that we have in the book. In the book, it tells you, focus on language, try to use adverbs. So the adverbs are more descriptive. Okay. Check, for example, it says, suddenly we saw a dark cloud in the sky. If you only say, we saw a dark cloud, it's not that interesting, like, suddenly we saw a dark cloud in the sky. Okay. Very well, so try to write longer sentences. I'm going to give you an example. Try to write the next phrase. I was confused. Imagine you are writing a friend an email, or maybe you're writing a story and you have the idea, I was confused. How can you make this sentence more complex? How can you make it more vivid? Can you try to write on the chat, I was confused? Try to use another synonym, and something that you can do. You can go to a dictionary and you can check the synonyms. You have English synonyms in word reference. So you write, for example, confused. And you will get tons of synonyms that you can use instead of using confused, because yes, confused is okay, but leave confused when you are speaking with another person. This is writing. So your written English should be more sophisticated. All right. So here you have these synonyms of confused. How can you write the expression, I was confused, in a more sophisticated way? please write on the chat. I'm going very quick for water, but right here in the chat, I was confused in a more sophisticated way. Okay, I was confused. I was disorientated. Good. About your story. You could use something more colloquial. I'm a little lost here. I'm a little lost here. This is informal, but colloquial phrase, una frase muy común, right? Let's say muy coloquial. So you can say, I'm a little lost here. I felt puzzled at your comment. I felt puzzled at your comment. This will be also a synonym saying, I'm confused. Okay. Well, now try to write the next word. For example, let's say, I don't know. I would like you to tell me an example. Katie, can you tell me any sentence in English? Something simple.
I was very happy.
Okay. I was very happy. Okay. So again, we can go to happy, check synonyms, because happy like is too common, too simple, but maybe you have better options. Cheerful, delighted, good mood, content. If you are very happy, you would say ecstatic. Eso sería como extasiado, right? Ecstatic. In good spirits. Okay, so how can you write, I was very happy, and you give a reason, y den una razón también. Try to write, I was very happy in a different way, using more words, using more description. Excellent. Katie gave us an excellent example from the previous one. I was disconcerted a few days ago. I visited a very dear friend and she received me upset. You see, very sophisticated. Maybe we don't speak like that in real life. But remember, writing is always more sophisticated, more complex than spoken English. Okay. You have here. Now for the second example, I was very happy. How can you say that? Going to give you mine. You can write yours. This is my example. Instead of saying I was happy, the occasion recalled joyful moments that we remember in good spirits. Okay, let's see. Itzel wrote, I was very cheerful because my exam was because I passed. I passed my exam after all my efforts. Good. I am worried because the courts are closed. I cannot advance in my work trials. That's true, right? That I think that they are in some kind of like there is a coup. There is they are protesting, right? Because of the money, some money the government took from them. So are you having problems because of this, Miguel?
Yes,
Of
teacher.
the protests?
Can you repeat, please?
People are protesting.
Yes, teacher. Because the government wants to retirar
To take away.
take away their money.
Yeah.
And they are in paro. I don't know how do you say in English, paro or huelga.
Yeah, you can say coup, but I think we can also say like maybe strike. Strike will be like huelga or paro. Okay, so you're having problems because of that. I think they got their scrolls on fideicomisos, something like this, right?
Yes, right.
But I thought it was at the very high levels. But it's in all the courts. all the courts in Mexico are having this problem?
Only the federal courts.
Federal courts like top.
Yes, because each state have their court, local court.
Oh, I see. But if I have to sue my neighbor, for example, I can still go? So I don't know if I have any problem with any person, can I still go to court or it would be a problem?
Yes, the federal courts they seen the matters about the situation of federal laws, but
Yes.
in each state there are
Uh-huh.
matters like divorcios, homicidios. It's from the attention, their attention is of each state, like Ciudad de México, Estado de México, Jalisco. There are Poder Judicial de la Federación, for all the country, and there are Tribunal Superior de Justicia de la Ciudad de México, and Tribunal Superior de Justicia of each state of Mexico.
Okay. So it's a very big problem. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, so there's always one thing and they don't make up their minds. There's always one thing and they are always fighting about something new and there are always protests with this government. Okay, let's see. Now, we check longer sentences. We also check part of what you can do to write better sentences, better essays. Use more sophisticated vocabulary in writing English, also in your spoken English, but writing, remember, your writing is always better than when you speak. Okay, what will be more sophisticated vocabulary? Use other synonyms that are not that common.
I love you.
Try to use some vocabulary, maybe some, we could use phrasal verbs. Instead of saying, for example, want, you can say look forward to. You can say fancy, desire, right? There are some more sophisticated vocabulary words that you can use. Substitute a regular word with a more intense and sophisticated one. Also, you will want to use more complicated grammatical structures. In the formal English, we want to use, for example, some structures like, for example, we can replace will and we use shall. Or we could change the I want and we could say I'd rather choose, for example, which is a more complicated, let's say, grammatical structure. Okay. Use more colloquial phrases. There are sometimes some expressions in English that you can use that can help you sound more natural. What are some colloquial phrases? Well, we have here some examples. Some colloquial phrases are everyday expressions that we can use in all contexts. With some idioms, okay? So here you have some examples of phrases that we use in everyday life. For example, instead of saying, imagine a person can speak. So you could say that a cat got their tongue. Como que un gato Un ratón, nosotros decimos los ratones te comieron la lengua. Well, in English we say cat got your tongue. Cat got your tongue. So this is a colloquial expression. Let's check the next one. Itzel, can you read the second idiom? Where is this bug? Yeah, or maybe Heidi, can you please read the second idiom? Okay,
Yes,
it's
Warm and cozy.
okay, that's the meaning. And what is the expression?
Snug as a bug in a rock.
Excellent. So snug as a bug in a rock is when you feel comfortable, like in a comfort zone, you feel good. Or literally when you are in bed, it's winter and it's very cold and you don't want to go out. That is snug as a bug in a rock. Okay, this is a more colloquial expression that you need to use in your writing. Heidi, please, the third one. What is the third idiom?
Yes, teacher. Go the extra mile. Make an extra effort. Is there an esfuerzo extra?
Exactly. So I can say make an extra effort, but I can substitute with a colloquial phrase, go the extra mile, which the Spanish equivalent would be como echarle ganas, dar todo de sí. So that's go the extra mile. Okay, how about the next one, please, Miguel? What is the next one?
Está en llamada, teacher.
Okay, good, don't worry. It's please, what is the next one, the fourth one? Okay, well, we have this one, these butterflies in my stomach that we use when we feel nervous, right? So, or when you're in love, you say, I have butterflies in my stomach. If something is going wrong, like for example, the case Miguel told me about the Supreme Court, right? So, well, we could say this thing is going down in flames. That means that there is a very bad situation. It's going down in flames. And during all the course, I have shown you some expressions that you can use, right? And show you their meaning. Okay, the next one is once in a blue moon, when something happens very, very weird, like it's not common, you can say once in a blue moon. So if you do this, you'll have a good writing. Here you have some other recommendations, and these are some expressions that you can use when you write essays or when you write in general anything. Try to use these expressions, this vocabulary. I'm going to send it to you. Well, guys, well, we finished for today. Thank you for joining me and see you the next one. Bye.
Thank you, teacher. Bye.